It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It is time for another episode in the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 Yay or Nay series. So as we all know, in the first game, one of the major additions to the roster was none other than Garfield. So I figured, let's take a look at another character from the Garfield universe in Odie. We'll see if Odie's got what it takes to maybe throw down on the battlefield. And then ultimately, again, as always, down in the comments, you either write, yay, you want to see this character as a playable character, or nay, you would not want to see this character. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the possible moves that Odie might bring with him into Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Move number 1. I called this one Fetch. It's a very simple idea, but it's kind of also, it's a projectile, if you will. So I got two different varying ideas of how this move could work. One could be very simple. You know how when you're playing fetch with a dog, you know, you might take a stick from the backyard, kind of throw it, the dog runs, goes and grabs the stick and brings it back to you? Maybe that's kind of what it is, but instead of somebody else throwing the stick, this will kind of be Odie throwing his own stick, if you will. So just kind of, the stick kind of ends up traveling across the stage. It's a little projectile. That could be the first version of the attack. Very simple. Odie has a projectile, and it kind of keeps with the theme of, you know, Odie being a dog, right? Or we could spice things up just a little bit more. So kind of building upon that last idea, when Odie spits out the stick, you could have the option to press the attack button one more time. And this time, when you do that, Odie automatically teleports to wherever the stick is, and he will end up catching it in his mouth. And of course, he'll kind of collide with wherever or whoever might be exactly where the stick is. So in a way, he's kind of playing fetch with himself. Throws out the stick. If you press the attack button again, he teleports instantly, kind of crashing into an opponent if they happen to be there. So again, it gives Odie the idea or the ability to have a projectile with the flying stick, but then with the warping around, him kind of catching the stick, it kind of helps with, you know, sideways recovery, if you will. So gives him a little bit more versatility off stage. So it could be a fun little idea. Again, just trying to keep with the theme. Odie's a dog, so what do dogs do? One of the things they can do is play fetch. Move number 2. This one I'm calling like a lunging tackle. Now, what do I mean by that? You know, it's, again, traditional dog-like behavior. You know, if you have a dog and you get home and they're really happy to see you, maybe if you have a bigger dog, they kind of jump up on you and they start licking your face or something. So that's kind of the idea for this attack. Odie will kind of do like a little lunging forward attack, and if he makes contact with the opponent, he tackles and pins them down on the ground very briefly while getting in a couple of licks. Like actual, you know, licks with his tongue. So each lick does a tiny bit more damage. So again, Odie lunging forward, kind of tackles and pins down the opponent if they happen to make contact with Odie during this move. So it's kind of, in a way, it's like a command grab, if you will. So again, lunging forward, pins down the opponent, licks him a couple times, and that's the attack. Again, kind of typical dog behavior. I thought that'd be kind of a fun little one. This could be a side special, forward, grounded, something or another. You get the idea. I think it works. Move number 3. This one's going to be a little strange. Maybe most people might not agree, and that's fine. But move 3, I called this one Odie Magic. Now, this move, like I said, is going to be a little bit strange, but, you know, if you're coming up with an entire move set for Odie, it could be a little bit challenging, so kind of got to think outside the box a little bit, I guess. But either way, the attack itself will have Odie kind of wave this magic wand that he finds, and then a top hat will randomly appear right in front of him, and then something will end up happening with the magic hat. For example, maybe it could just be something as simple as a rabbit popping out of the hat, and the rabbit popping out of the hat is the actual attack. Maybe the hat, the magic hat that appears, maybe it does a tiny bit of like a stun sort of effect. So you get caught off guard by magic happening like literally right in front of you. Again, of course, this is applying to any opponent that gets hit by the magic hat. So they get stunned very quickly, and then the rabbit pops out, and the rabbit kind of does like a random kick or a punch or something that kind of, you know, is the second part of the attack, if you will. So again, it might not be the greatest idea for an attack, but yeah, I tried, so let me know what you think. And move number 4, a very simple one. Again, more dog behavior, and Odie does this quite often in the shows and everything. We're gonna call this one a lick. Yep, We already said he could lick during the lunging tackle, but what if he just does a lick as a very simple, just like a neutral attack, a light attack, whatever it might be. He just kind of licks with his tongue once or twice. Maybe it could be like a rapid jab, and every time you press in the attack button, he licks again. So something like that, a very simple idea. Not much in terms of damage for the move itself, but you know, it keeps Odie true to what he is and what he does. So I thought that, you know, fit fairly well for a moveset. Moving on to some alternate costume ideas. Got 3 different ideas. So up first, we're going to go with Robo Odie. This one's pretty simple for the most part. It's just a color swap. That's a palette swap. It's very simple. It's still Odie, but there's an episode where somebody ends up taking Odie and then try to clone him and make all these sorts of robot Odies. So Robo Odie would make a pretty good idea for an alternate costume, as well as I really like this one, Pirate Odie. I think this one would be pretty cool. Odie just dresses up in this little pirate outfit. So just another idea. Think it works pretty well. But one final idea. This one could be a little bit more fun. Maybe more people might enjoy this one. But the rooster suit, you know, when he dresses up in that, I don't know. It's another idea just to throw out there. There's many, many more we could go with, but you know, those are just the 3 that I came up with. As always, if you have your own ideas, feel free to drop those in the comments. Now for the stage idea. This one was, I thought this would be pretty simple and make a lot of sense. So I went with the Arbuckle house, you know, John's house. Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense, but we're going to make this a house tour. So the stage itself will kind of be going through the entire house. So we'll start, say, in the front yard with the driveway, maybe the cars out there, whatever it might be, but you start there and then you will fly through the front door. You know, it's kind of like a little bit of a stage transition. So platforms will be changing a little bit. You might add a platform, take away a platform, a bigger platform, maybe just flat out, you know, just a flat stage, whatever it might be. But you start in the front yard, you move to the kitchen, for example. You can move to other places in the house, of course, like the living room. So yeah, like I said, the Arbuckle house tour, I thought would fit pretty nicely for Odie and, well, just the Garfield franchise as a whole. And that is going to wrap it up for Odie's portion of the video, but I did promise in yesterday's video, and as we always do, 1 week after a character's video gets uploaded, we reveal their stats for the series. And last week we did have Arnold, who was the first character of this series. So Arnold's first stats for the very first week of the Yay or Nay stats, I should say. He's the only character so far that we've done that have eligibility for stats. So here's what it is. Here's Arnold. 67 total votes. Kind of low. I thought more people were excited about this, but I guess I was wrong. But either way, 67 total votes. 46 yeses or yays and 21 nays. So percentage-wise, as a yes to no ratio, 68.65% of people would prefer Arnold to be playable over not playable. Now, again, Arnold's kind of he was definitely a talking point in terms of him being a pacifist and all that stuff. Should he be in a fighting game? Should he not because of who he is as a character? Well, you could kind of make the same argument for maybe Garfield or Rocco or, you know, somebody else. So either way, that is his stats. We will have updated stats again next week for the 2 characters we did this weekend, Queen Vexus, and of course today's episode with Odie. But that'll be next week. Today's today. Today is wrapping up. Hope you all enjoyed. And I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.